welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. Alright, well, as you can see, the ship is starting to take on a little bit of a shape. I've actually done something here with the front end of the ship that actually doesn't look like a flat pig snout that it had before. And it's starting to shape into something that actually looks like it might be reasonable. Now, this block in the front is, of course, there just for helping me keep track of where the center line is for when I set up symmetry for building. Now, I decided to go with the angles and whatnot because they seem to be a lot easier to work with, and there's a lot more potential with the angles than there is the various and sundry rounded pieces. Because if I look in here, you see there's a fair number of rounded pieces. There's probably even as many as there are squared and angled, but I have found the rounded pieces to be extremely infuriating to deal with. It's hard enough trying to find a rotation and shape combination that works with the angles. It's far more fun with the rounded pieces, so I've decided not to use them for now. And where I had the legs of this thing, the landing legs, rounded, I have replaced them with angles, slopes on a diamond shape kind of thing. I think that works. It's reasonable, especially with the heavy landing gear and so on. In recent days, while I have spent a little bit of time tearing down the abandoned mine, most of my Empyrion time has been devoted to getting this into looking like something that isn't horrible or an absolute box. At least I've managed to, I think, successfully blunt the front end. I think that these slopes here on the bottom along the front, I may be taking a few of those out so that there could be forward-facing weapons in those spots, but I'm going to figure that out as I go. To give you an idea, just as a little bit of reminder, here is a clip recorded from a backup save to show what this thing used to look like. So, here's the ship as you last saw it. The front end pretty much chopped off and starting some flaring out on the back end, and so on. And I said that I had a kind of an idea for what I wanted this thing to look like. And so, for that, let's cut to the current save, which is some many hours after this. And so, here we have the story of an ugly ship that is not quite as ugly as it used to be. And we're getting there. In here, I would expect to have the command seat or cockpit, flight seat, whatever you want to call it. And most of the gear that's in here in this area is going to have to be removed and replaced into its final location once I figure that out. I will be going with the T3 fuel tanks. I don't see any reason to use anything smaller, not on a capital ship. Okay, that was rude. I'm doing my thing here, and all of a sudden, crash. Empyrion dropped out from under me. And honestly, I think that's probably the first time this thing has ever crashed on me. In any event, that's pretty much the update of what I've been up to. And I don't even, I thought about, in fact, I even started to record doing the build figure I could do maybe a speed up build or something like that, but that's just not going to work because, well, I don't even want to think about how many blocks of combat steel I've gone through, placed and then removed, and then placed and then removed. It's a lot. I mean, I make this stuff a stack at a time, and I'm going through it almost as fast. And yeah, in fact, I've got a bunch of it here in my inventory right now that needs to be reprocessed into a fresh batch of blocks because, yeah, I am thoroughly embarrassed about how much place it, try it, and tear it up and do it again I'm doing with this. It's really aggravating. Let's just say that. It's aggravating. And it makes for very, very, very slow build process, but I think I'm getting there. I think that now that the front end of this thing, that it actually has a nose end that looks like it was intended to be some kind of a big ship, that I think it's starting to get there. So I'm going to keep working on this off and on over the next few days and get done what I can of it. I want to get the aft end of it here lengthened out, stretched out as long as it needs to be. Because obviously, well, perhaps not obviously, but this is not going to do. This is not what I had in mind, because the ship itself is going to extend to the reach of the platform that I've built and possibly even beyond it. And there is going to be some stuff that comes at least out 2 or 3 blocks from the main hull and so on. So yeah, I've got a lot of figuring out to do and a lot of fun with angled bits, but I'll get it figured out. It's just going to take me a while. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.